And for most of the season, Duke was dominating college basketball. They had talent, they had depth, great coaching. They get into the Final Four against a battle-tested Houston team, and you had raw talent meeting its match, and it certainly showed. Duke was up by 14 in the second half. Under 9 minutes to go, seemingly in control. And as I've said many times on this show, freshmen can act like freshmen. I don't care how talented you are. And they acted like freshmen late in that game. Now, Houston didn't flinch. That was the key. Kelvin Sampson did a wonderful job of telling his team, we're only down by. We're only down by. Even though it's double digits to Duke and the best player in college basketball. So you have an experienced team, well coached, and when they had the moment, when it called for composure, they delivered. Duke did not, but we've seen this before many times. You get that moment, and this is where you step up and you make a big play. I thought Duke was nonchalant at times, even trying to get the ball in. Cooper Flagg had a moment, and his moment passed. But Houston played great. And I think there's moments where you go, this could get out of hand. And it certainly looked like it was going to get out of hand. Kelvin Sampson didn't allow his team to let it get out of hand, to get embarrassed. And then with Florida and Auburn, I thought Auburn was going to win the game. I thought Houston was going to keep close, and I thought that they would I would take the points with Houston. They ended up upsetting them. But Walter Clayton Jr. III has made himself some money. Imagine you're the guy, everybody knows you're the guy, and you still go Steph Curry on people. And that's what's remarkable. And these are contested shots. These aren't just, hey, somebody drive and dish. It's, I got the ball, I'm gonna do the driving, and I'm gonna take the big shot. And that's what was impressive. This is quite a run. Quite a run for one player. And look, I haven't been sold on Florida. They could win the national title. But I am sold on Walter Clayton. He is a whole lot of fun, and he's probably making himself into a lottery pick now. And I think when the tournament began, there was talk maybe at the end of the first round. But what I've seen so far, and I don't want to get caught up too much in, you've done this in a couple of games in the tournament, but I do want to get caught up in the fact that you're doing it in the tournament because you're doing it with high pressure. These are big games, big moments. And that's what's fun to see. When you're watching somebody, he was at Iona. Nobody knew that he was at Iona, except for the Florida coaching staff that said, you know what, that guy right there could be pretty good. So he was there, Rick Pitino, and you're seeing a lot of these teams that have, juniors and seniors, transfer players. This is college basketball, and you've seen that. Houston has experience. Florida has experience as well. Anybody else?
There's a little bit of like a, did Duke collapse or did Houston take it?
Houston collapsed. Yeah. I think there has to be, something has to happen for something to happen. So there has to be action for reaction. They have to open the door for a collapse where they don't get rebounds, they don't make field goals, they can't get the ball in bounds, they commit a foul, they allow, a putback. That's all they allowed. They did all those things. Now, Houston played a role in that. But still, you're Duke. You're not getting rebounds, in the final 3 minutes? You don't have field goals, not making free throws. I put that on Duke. That's a collapse. Absolutely. Yes, Ton.
I couldn't help but wonder what was going on through Coach K's mind as he's sitting there watching this unfold over the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and, second guessing in his own mind. He wouldn't necessarily call out Coach Shire and have a discussion after the game, but got to wonder what that, thought bubble would be like.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably pretty tough to sit there and you can do nothing. Yeah. You're just watching. But, we think Duke is going to go to the championship game. They should go to the championship game. But Houston hit big shots. Duke had to allow them the opportunity to make those moments big shots. Since steals became an official stat in 1986, NCAA tournament teams are 335-1 in games that they beat their opponents in field goal percentage, free throw attempts, assists, turnovers, fewer than your opponent, and steals. The lone loss, Duke on Saturday night.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
What?
Stat of the day.
Brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the DP show. If you don't like Duke, you had a great Saturday. Because that was one of those where, and this isn't a team that that you dislike. I mean, they're a good team to watch. They're a fun team to watch. But you were rooting against the brand. That brand is pretty powerful. And I think that's probably what stood out. You're like, oh, God, Duke again. Wait, Houston's come. Holy, Duke's going to lose this game. That's as I'm watching it, you're watching almost as in slow motion, where I'm going, oh, my God. Wait. And then all of a sudden, there'd be a three. And then all of a sudden, can't get the ball in. Then all of a sudden, there's a foul on flag. And yes, I'm okay with the call because if let's say it was the other way and Duke got the call, what would we say? Oh, yeah, they want Duke to win. So you can't say that. The officials were calling and making the call and what they saw. Is it tough to make that call? Yes. But they did make a tough call, and it went against Duke.